Once you have your sub-summary report built, there are specific steps to view it properly. We're going to first start off with the traditional way of viewing a sub-summary report, which is in preview mode. So let's go into preview mode. And you notice it doesn't look very good. It's just a bunch of names. There are no categories here like we expected. That's because we haven't sorted yet. Every time you view a report, you have to make sure it's sorted and sorted by specific fields. So we're going to go ahead and sort that. And you see it's sorted by date of birth, or it's actually not sorted right now, but it was previously last sorted by date of birth. We're going to clear that out, and we need to sort by the category field because that's what we have on our sub-summary part, sub-summary by category. And then we can add any additional fields we want. I want it to be within each category organized by last name and then first name. It's that simple. Just sort it, and you'll see the report changes. Now the first thing you'll see is that there's some blank categories. 3 people don't have a category assigned, and so it shows up as the initial category because that's how it sorts. If you sorted in descending order, then it would go ahead and show it, at the end of the report. Here's the next category, commercial. As I scroll down, there's quite a few in the commercial. And then we can go to the next page, scroll back up, and you can see there's government and there's nonprofit. So it's organized all these people, which is great for us. Now, obviously, it'd be helpful if, for this example if we had more not in the commercial and in the other categories, but you get the idea. Works out very nicely here. So let's go ahead and see how you can take this and view it as a PDF or even share it with somebody. And it's real easy. You have Save as PDF right here, or under the File menu you can do Save, Send Records as PDF. So let's do it real quick. We'll hit Save as PDF. We'll call this Report. Make sure it's going to the desktop. For me, that's what I prefer. And you have some of the same options here when you're saving as a PDF. You have records being browsed, current record, and blank record. We're going to make sure we're on records being browsed for this. And don't miss this over here. Here's some options. They're very nice. These are PDF options. There's metadata here, compatibility if you want, page numbering, all that kind of good stuff, security, and even the initial view. Now I'm not going to go over all these options. If you're familiar with how a PDF works, you'll be familiar with security, initial view, and all that kind of stuff. So you can play around with these yourself. And then you also have automatically open file, which will say after I've created that PDF, then open it up. You may want to see it right away. Or you can create an email with the file's attachment. That's really handy because a lot of times you go, I want to send this to bill and sales. So you might as well have it pop up, attach it to an email, and then you can type in Bill's email address and send it right off. It makes things much more efficient rather than opening a new email and dragging it into the email. Sometimes you have windows in the way. It just makes it a little more convenient. So we're not going to do that one right now. We're just going to save it to our desktop and automatically open it. And you see it happens pretty quickly, and it looks exactly the same as it did in FileMaker. So you can send this to somebody that can print it out, whatever they want to do. So I like that a lot. The PDF feature is really handy. I use it a lot in my solutions. Now you can also view this report in browse mode. So if we go to browse mode, you need to make sure that you're viewing as list. Otherwise it won't show properly. There you go. You can see now it's the same report. The difference is you don't have page breaks. You can't see where the pages begin and end. But the benefit here is in browse mode you can have buttons. We haven't gone over scripts and things like that, but you can't have buttons in preview mode. You can have them in browse mode. So you could have some buttons here that said find these records or sort this or go to this layout or whatever you want to. You couldn't do that in preview mode. But the number one thing you can do in here is modify your data. Now we have all merge fields, but if we go into layout mode and toss a new field on here, put it right inside the body part, and we'll choose that category field again. There it is. Make it a little bit bigger. And then go to browse mode. You can see now that we have this field here. And so you go, oh, Billy Adlington, he should be in the commercial area. And then as soon as you exit that, it's going to organize him because FileMaker 10 and 11 have the persistent sort. It always keeps it sorted. Once it's sorted and you manipulate data, it'll resort it for you. So if we went to item, put her in government, and clicked out of it, she disappears, but she's now in the government section, and we have to go all the way down there. There she is. So that's kind of a nice feature. You can manipulate the data in browse mode to go, oh, that doesn't really belong there. Let's move it down here. So it's a handy thing. And then if you want to see it, what it looks like with page breaks, Well, you go to preview mode. And then if you want to go ahead and see what it looks like when you print it out, well, then you can print it out or save it to PDF. You have all these options for viewing it, which really make it handy. Now, you also can view this report in table view if you like. The advantage here is that you can go ahead and manipulate the columns, right? Move this over there, move that over there, resize the column, all kinds of things. And some people really like this view. I personally don't like it at all, basically because I'm designing for people. I'm not designing for myself. If I was designing for myself, this is okay. I don't need an interface. But if I want a nice interface from form to list, I need to have these two list views. If I go to this one, there's really not a lot of control over how the interface looks. I like these two views. That's just my personal opinion. Go ahead and use whatever view you like. But if you're producing a commercial solution, you really can't put much interface on this, and so I'd watch out for it.